Scoring a goal at the FIFA World Cup is iconic, but scoring a hat trick? That's legendary. Across 22 tournaments, there have been only 54 hat tricks in men's World Cup history, each one with its own story. Let's dive into some of the most unforgettable hat trick moments ever. In 1994, one of the most extraordinary World Cup performances came from Russia's Oleg Salenko. He achieved what no other player in men's World Cup history has, scoring 5 goals in a single match. His incredible haul came during Russia's 6-1 demolition of Cameroon in the group stage, a game that also saw Cameroon legend Roger Milla become the oldest ever World Cup scorer. Salenko's 5 goals took his tournament tally to 6, earning him the Golden Boot, which he shared with Bulgaria's Hristo Stoichkov. Remarkably, these 6 goals were the only ones Salenko ever scored for Russia, and he never played for the national team again. When it comes to speed, some hat tricks have been dazzlingly quick. In June 1954, Austrian forward Erich Probst wasted no time making his mark. During a group stage clash against Czechoslovakia, Probst netted 3 goals within the first 24 minutes, helping Austria race to a 4-0 lead. After Ernst Stoyaspal opened the scoring in the 3rd minute, Probst followed up with goals in the 4th, 21st, and 24th minutes, making it the earliest hat trick ever recorded in a men's World Cup match. However, the fastest hat trick, in terms of time between the 1st and 3rd goals, belongs to Hungary's Laszlo, who stunned El Salvador in 1982 by scoring 3 times in just 7 minutes and 42 seconds after coming off the bench. That remains the quickest World Cup hat trick to date. Meanwhile, age has proven no barrier to greatness. Pelé holds the record as the youngest player to score a hat trick in a men's World Cup. He achieved this milestone during Brazil's 1958 semi-final win over France, doing so at just 17 years and 244 days old. Remarkably, he remains the only player in World Cup history to net a hat trick before turning 18. The only other teenager to manage a World Cup hat trick is Germany's Edmund Koenen, who scored 3 goals against Belgium in the 1934 tournament at the age of 19 years and 198 days. On the opposite end of the age spectrum, Cristiano Ronaldo became the oldest player to score a World Cup hat trick. The Portuguese legend was 33 years and 130 days old when he netted all 3 of Portugal's goals in a dramatic 3-3 group stage draw with Spain in 2018. His 3rd goal, a stunning late free kick, marked his 51st career hat trick, and coincidentally, it was also the 51st hat trick ever recorded in World Cup history. Some legends, however, made hat tricks a habit. Only 3 players have managed to score a hat trick in 2 different matches within the same men's World Cup tournament: Just Fontaine, Sandor Kocsis, and Gerd Müller. Fontaine achieved this feat in the 1958 World Cup by netting 3 goals against Paraguay and then adding 4 more against Germany. Gerd Müller matched this accomplishment in the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, scoring consecutive hat tricks just 3 days apart against Bulgaria and Peru. Similarly, Hungary's Sandor Kocsis also recorded hat tricks in 2 consecutive World Cup games during the 1954 tournament, spaced 4 days apart. Another standout player with multiple World Cup hat tricks is Argentina's Gabriel Batistuta, the only player to score hat tricks in 2 separate World Cup tournaments. He first scored 3 goals against Greece in the 1994 World Cup and then repeated the feat 4 years later in 1998 against Jamaica. Interestingly, both of Batistuta's hat tricks occurred on June 21st. Both were against teams making their World Cup debuts, and both saw the final goal scored from the penalty spot. So, was it easier to score hat tricks in the earlier World Cup tournaments? It appears that way. Factors such as more attack-friendly rules and a greater gap in quality between teams might explain this trend. Out of the total 54 World Cup hat tricks recorded, 26 were scored during the first 8 editions of the tournament. In contrast, the remaining 28 hat tricks have been spread across the subsequent 14 World Cups, even though those later tournaments featured more matches overall. Notably, the 1958 World Cup alone accounted for nearly 15% of all hat tricks, with a record 8 scored, more than any other single tournament. The only World Cup to have no hat tricks at all was the 2006 event held in Germany. Even the day of the week seems to influence hat trick history. Sunday is by far the most fruitful. 23 of the 54 hat tricks have been scored on this day, more than twice as many as the next most prolific day, Saturday, which has 11. Every day of the week has witnessed a hat trick, but Monday remains the least productive, with just one, scored by Portugal's Pauleta in a 2002 match against Poland. Let me leave you with one final, unforgettable fact about World Cup hat tricks. Scoring one in a World Cup final is the ultimate footballing achievement, something only 2 players have ever done. The first was Geoff Hurst, who fired England to a 4-2 win over West Germany at Wembley in 1966, sealing the victory with his 3rd goal in the final minute of extra time. Nearly 6 decades later, Kylian Mbappé joined this elite club with a stunning hat trick in the 2022 final against Argentina. But unlike Hurst, Mbappé's efforts ended in heartbreak as Argentina triumphed in the penalty shootout. So, as football moves forward, new records will fall and new legends will emerge. The magic of World Cup hat tricks will continue to thrill us all. Who knows what historic moments the future holds? Stay tuned. The best is yet to come. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel.